Gentlelady from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Noem, I come with concerns today that under your watch, the Department of Homeland Security has created a culture of chaos and fear in our American lives and endangered our constitutional liberties. I want to focus on a particular aspect of DHS's misconduct, which should concern every American, and that has to do with DHS's ever-expanding practice of labeling anyone who criticizes this administration or DHS actions as a criminal or a domestic terrorist. Time and again, we've seen this administration use the full power of the government to silence or intimidate people who disagree with it, and nowhere is that more true than with the Department of Homeland Security. When people have dared to speak out or push back, they've been assaulted, arrested, and now even killed. But what may have flown under the radar is that over the past year, DHS has been ramping up its use of a lesser-known tool known as administrative subpoenas or summons. Under your leadership, DHS has sent record numbers of these summons to tech companies like Google and Meta, Reddit, Apple, Microsoft, and Discord, demanding, without legal authority or probable cause, that these internet companies unmask social media accounts and hand over the identity of the account users so that DHS can spy on them. Many of these requests have targeted accounts speaking out against brutal immigration enforcement tactics and speaking up to help people understand their rights or support their neighbors. This is core, protected First Amendment speech. So I want to look at two recent examples of these DHS summons involving Americans in the Philadelphia suburbs, which I represent. In September, DHS targeted Facebook and Instagram accounts run by Montco Community Watch, a grassroots group that provides information about public ICE activities in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, and shares civil rights and other resources to support its diverse community. DHS demanded that Meta turn over the identity of the administrator. In November, DHS demanded that Google share the address and other private information of a retired gentleman who hosts gatherings of friends to write postcards to elected officials after he sent an email to a DHS official identified in a Washington Post article asking that the agency consider decency in its efforts to deport an Afghan refugee who'd been an ally to American troops. Your agency asked Google to conceal its request to unmask him, and then Homeland Security agents showed up at this gentleman's home to interrogate him. These are just two examples, and in neither case was there any evidence of threats or criminal activity. Now, these two American citizens were able to secure lawyers and challenge these illegal demands in court. We've seen that DHS's bad faith requests don't hold up and have been forced to withdraw these demands because they don't withstand legal scrutiny. But not every American who's targeted has the time or the wherewithal to challenge the federal government, and that is the point. These efforts to unmask the administration's opponents are clearly designed to intimidate and silence those who oppose the administration's and particularly DHS's lawless policies. So Secretary Noem, can you tell us how many of these administrative summons DHS has issued in the past year to technology platforms seeking the identity or personal data of users who've criticized this administration and its actions?
The individuals that work at the Department of Homeland Security and specifically in investigations follow all federal laws and constitutional laws. And
I understand that you may not agree with
process.
this. Can you tell us how many subpoenas or administrative
I can find
requests?
out how many of those have been filed, and I will get
will you
that back to you.
provide
I do
that
not
to
know
us?
that off the top of my head. What I would say
Can you
is
tell
we
me
do
who it is
appreciate-
that administers that program? Is there anyone who's in
I don't know
charge
which
of it?
department or agency you're talking about, because USCIS would do some of this. Homeland Security Investigations does the vast majority of our investigations into financial fraud, into immigration fraud, into fraud when in regards to what is going on in Minneapolis.
Okay, so it could be a number of different agencies
But beyond that,
within
we also have
DHS.
CISA, which is our cybersecurity agency.
You have defended DHS's actions repeatedly as using legal tools. But both the courts and DHS's own Inspector General have advised that DHS is misusing these tools in violation of the law and the Constitution. And that's exactly why no government agency is allowed to spy on Americans simply because they're they're sharing their opinions online. So I would request
We-
that you do
we
provide that
Are not
information to
spying
the
on
committee.
individuals. If any
It's spying on
administration
people
was
when
spying
they're
on people, it
exercising
was
their
the Biden
First Amendment
administration.
rights. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield.